Hi, welcome to this channel. This channel is dedicated to giving the people like you a perspective and my views of how we should act in social, you know, social environments. We're going to talk about everything from relationships to first meetings to hanging out with friends. Now, I have to admit, I'm not a doctor. I'm not even an expert. I do have a bunch of friends and a bunch of life stories that have given me the, I would say, knowledge that makes me think, if we do it this way, it might make it a better or at least somewhat less awkward experience. So again, I'm not a doctor. This is just my opinion. So first thing we're going to do is talk about dating. Um, so, a lot of people are going to be like, well, why are we jumping to dating? Dating's a little bit easier. And the reason it's easier is because you've already got past the awkward stage. And we'll get to that in a future episode. Right now, we're talking about dating. And when I say dating, the most problems that I have seen from all my friends and even the guys that I have known or even met at the bar when I worked at the bar was, can I get this woman into bed with one, two, or three dates? And I'm thinking, wait a minute. I thought dating was to get to know the person, not to get them in the sack. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. So, what what do you perceive as a date? Should be the first question. Uh, well, me personally, like I said, date is getting to know the person. So obviously, the first date is to get to know, well, that person in a more advanced or more in depth look. So best thing to do in date one, I have heard everything. I've heard ranges from trips on first dates down to just a phone call. A first date should be a meeting in a neutral place between the two people. Now here's where I'm going to get a lot of arguments and I'm going to get a lot of slack. One, it should always be in a well lit, quiet place where you can talk. Two, you should never pick that person up. Always come in separate cars or separate ways. Reason being, the other person doesn't feel trapped. They're there, but if they ever want to go, they can. Which brings me to my next tip. Um, go Dutch. Again, no expectations. No one should think that they're getting anything, or no one should feel that they are required because of this. So, go Dutch. Um, Perfect places, for me anyways, would be, coffee shops, cafes, um, places like that. Parks, libraries even. It's quiet. It's you get to know the person. Now, when I said cafes and all that, I you shouldn't really eat in your first date. You're going to be talking, and food and talking doesn't mix. If you have no other options but to eat something light, eat something that isn't going to take up the entire time. Side salads, yogurts, soups, even a small half a sandwich would be okay, but always remember what you are doing. You're there to talk. You're there to meet the other person. More in depth, anyways. Date number two. Now, I have thought about this a little bit, and date number two, you could do one of two ways. Date number two should always have some kind of meaning for both people. And when I say meaning, I mean you have friends. The other person has friends. Get those friends involved. If you're really good, you could actually, find a mixture of, okay, let's, there's a game coming on. You know, let's go to the game. You'll bring a couple of your friends, they'll bring a couple of their friends, and guess what? Now meeting the person that could potentially be your mate or, your soulmate or your spouse or whatever. Getting your friends involved in that process kind of helps because, springing it on there, this way they know, hey, this person is liking this person, and it gives you the opportunity to say, hey, how did you like her or him or however, what did you think? This is the basis because when our social circle is the way it is, you're bringing somebody else in. Some people might feel resentment. Some people might not like this person for obvious reasons or, secret reasons. This way, your closest friends get to know her, and boom. If you're not into that, you could go another route. Remember, date one is always about talking. Get to know what the opposite person likes. And now okay, well, this person likes folk music. Hey, there's a guy that plays folk music. Just be warned that you can't really write, you can't take notes. So, gotta think, gotta remember. That's why on the first two dates, no alcohol whatsoever. Just stop. I know you're going to yell at me. No alcohol. But what you're going to do is you're going to remember. And now, let's say they said, hey, yeah, I like this guy. He's really cool. He's really awesome. I got a couple of CDs. If you remember and you know that, guess what? If it comes up, it's like, hey, I got tickets. Now you can make date number two. Date number two is getting to know them in a different atmosphere. Noisy, dark, yeah, just either with your friends or not with your friends. Just remember, date number two is getting to know them a little bit better. You've already should have known everything about them, which brings us to date number three. Now, I hear from, TVs, I hear from my friends, I hear from people I've never met, that date number three is the sex date. Why? I don't understand that from I don't understand that. Dating is not it should not have any requirements. Dating should not have any um what's the word I'm looking for? Rewards. It's dating. If you get to the third date, your chances of, you know, producing a relationship is pretty good. Ruining it with, sex, well, that's also pretty good. You shouldn't be talking anything about sex. You shouldn't be doing any of that on the dates. So, that's in a different time and a different place. The third date is the date that you become, you dress up, you look good, you take the person to a nice place. It's going to be dark, it's going to be well lit. You're going to use everything that you've learned in the dating, in the first two dates, to get the perfect evening. This is where you're going to spend the money on, You're going to spend the money on the dinner. You're going to spend the money on the dancing. You're going to spend the money on the movie. You're going to plan, which is always key. Plan, plan, plan. Now, when I say plan, I mean some people like spontaneity. Do that. That's fine. But make sure you know, okay, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go here. Make sure you have the reservations. Nothing like going to a restaurant that's booked and, you're now settling for pizza. Make sure you remember that she might be allergic to shellfish and he might be allergic to, vegetables. Always remember, when I said the first 2 dates are no alcohol, the third date, go ahead and, have a beer with your dinner, have a wine with your dinner, in quantity, in small quantities. This way, you're still coherent, you're still having a great time, and now, you have now finished the third date. Now, this, I will say, on the third date, you've picked them up, him, her, whomever, you've dropped them off. I don't see any reason why you couldn't walk them to the door. Don't expect a kiss. Don't expect to be let in. Don't even ask. Because again, this is the final, this is it. If you're in, like they say, you're in like Flynn, and boom, you now have a possible relationship. I'm not saying that, the third is going to be the final, boom, nail in the coffin, but now you have the gateway. You could go to the fourth or the fifth or the sixth date. Now you've introduced her to your friends or him to your friends, and it's easier for everybody to get to know them, and it just makes life so much easier. This is Just Joe. If you agree with me, if you like this, give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments, go ahead and leave them down below. Sorry for the quality. I'm down in my basement right now. I will be getting some better equipment and making this a little bit more better. I hope to see you next week. I'll be doing out videos every Monday or Tuesday, depending on work. Hope to see you next week. Bye.